I talk about this thing called the OODA loop, OODA, the OODA loop, which stands for observe, orient, decide, and act. And this is a model that was created in the military to understand how fighter pilots could get better at their jobs. And what they did is they understood how people's minds work. And we all work the same way. We go through this loop. Now, when that loop gets disrupted, we go back to the beginning of the loop. And so there's two ways to win the OODA loop. One is to be able to be faster about how you react to those changes, right? To be able to observe and orient and decide quicker than your competition so that you can act quicker and take advantage of what's going on. And the other thing is to disrupt your competitor's OODA loop by giving them new stimuli to process, by being strategically unpredictable.
Prison is a business just like any other, and I was their client, and they probably want me to come back. I kind of figured that they would have a plan for me to rehabilitate me. And I was extraordinarily disappointed to find out that that's not the case. So I had really had to figure it all out on my own. And fortunately for me, I was a child of that, let's call it personal development or self-esteem movement in the 90s. And I loved Tony Robbins, and I loved Jim Rohn and Wayne Dyer and all these people who are great. But the lessons never really stuck to me. And I believe it was because my self-esteem I didn't feel worthy of living the life of that quality. The first thing I really figured out while I was there, it took me a month or so to get really used to life, but I really started to focus on gratitude. And I started just taking these walks of gratitude every day.
How far have we come, or how far have we not come? Our child called social media saying, you've grown up and I'm not quite sure I like you anymore.
So true. We spent a lot of our time trying to convince people to jump into social media. We spent hours talking about how people should do that. And now they're doing it. And maybe it's not as idealistic as we thought it would be, because when more people are on social media, more people are on social media. So social media is a microcosm of the real world, right? So one of the things I had to learn early on was that social media wasn't just an online thing. It exists both on and offline. Sometimes we forget that it's really about real people with real feelings and thoughts.
Stephen Rubin says, have been watching. I will continue to eat meat until there is a mandate against it. He's poking a little bit of fun, and he's being somewhat serious as well.
There are many Stevens in this world, and that's fair. And I'm a firm believer that you don't mandate anything. I don't believe in mandating, but I can see a future where people are going to say it's actually not okay to eat meat, like we did with smoking. And that's because there are these common enemies that we now have that we don't recognize. Even the little bit that we can do as an individual can make a massive change. But I appreciate the comment that Stephen made, because there's going to be more and more conversations about individual freedom against public good. More and more conversations about balancing individual freedom against public good.